Poppies on the Wheat by Helen Hunt Jackson, 1830 to 1885. Along Ancona's hills the shimmering heat, a tropic tide of air with ebb and flow, bathes all the fields of wheat until they glow like flashing seas of green, which toss and beat around the vines. The poppies, lithe and fleet, seem running, fiery torchmen to and fro to mark the shore. The farmer does not know that they are there. He walks with heavy feet, counting the bread and wine by autumn's gain. But I smile to think that days remain, perhaps to me, in which, though bread be sweet, no more, and red wine warm my blood in vain, I shall be glad remembering how the fleet, lithe poppies ran like torchmen with the wheat. Okay, so this is by Helen Hunt Jackson. Let's see. She was originally came from Massachusetts, but I think she spent a lot of her life in California, but she travelled around as well quite a lot. She was a friend of Emily Dickinson, and she's famous as a poet and a writer. So what's this poem about? Well, this is about poppies on the wheat. A poppy is a red flower, and this is describing wheat fields in Ancona, which is in Italy. So yeah, it's describing the beauty of the place. Along Ancona's hills, the shimmering heat, a tropic tide of air with ebb and flow, bathes all the fields of wheat until they glow like flashing seas of green, which toss and beat around the vines. Okay, so she's in the hills of Ancona, and there is a heat haze. It's a very hot day. You know, when everything you see in the distance is has got this haze to it. And then she says that it's a tropical tide of air with ebb and flow. So it's like a tropical heat. And it's like the tide because it comes and it goes. Yeah, and I think this tide of air, this is talking about air moving around. These are light breezes that ebb and flow. They come and they go. And this hot air is bathing, it's washing, it covers all of the fields until they glow like flashing seas of green. So the fields are covered, the fields of wheat are covered in this, and the fields are glowing, and here we have a simile, like flashing seas of green. So she says it looks like a green sea, which toss and beat around the vines. So there are grapevines here, and there is also wheat, and the wheat is beating, it's moving backwards and forwards, and it's going up and down. So she's describing this scene where it's incredibly hot and there's this heat haze, and everything's bathed in this heat, and the wheat is moving backwards and forwards, and it's like a sea of green. So notice flow and glow, but also heat, wheat, beat. So we've got some internal rhyme as well. The poppies, lithe and fleet, seem running, fiery torchmen, to and fro to mark the shore. Okay, so the poppies. So there are poppies in these wheat fields, And they are lithe, they are agile, they are bendy, they can move around, and fleet. If you're fleet, you're light-footed, fleet of foot. Yeah, a fleeting glance. Yeah, so they are agile and they move easily, and they seem running. So the movement of the poppies in this, it looks like the poppies are running. Fiery torchmen, so it's like there are men carrying torches, carrying flames, and the flame from the red of the poppy, to and fro from place to place to mark the shore. So clearly this is a place that is near the seashore, it's beside the seashore, and the poppies, there are many more poppies, or the poppies are on the edge of the field beside the shore. And this is one view of it. This is a view of the beauty of the place. And then she moves to the position of a farmer, a local farmer. The farmer does not know that they are there. So the farmer doesn't even notice them. He's too busy thinking about his work and thinking about money and his life. And these are something that are always there. And he just doesn't notice the beauty of them. He walks with heavy feet, counting the bread and wine by autumn's gain. So I like this heavy feet. Maybe this implies that he's tired, but I think it also implies that he's not alert to this beauty. Yeah, he's anchored in the world. He's not in the world of men. He's not anchored in the world of nature and beauty. And this farmer, he's thinking about the bread and wine that have come from this autumn. So the wine from the grapes and the bread from the wheat. And if you notice, the field has vines and wheat, and that's bread and wine. Yeah, and these are the harvest that he has gained this autumn. So the farmer's in a completely different world. But and she says, my view is different. I smile to think that days remain, perhaps to me, in which though bread be sweet no more, and red wine warm my blood in vein, I shall be glad remembering how the fleet lithe poppies ran like torchmen with the wheat. So I think about this in a different way, and I smile at the thought that maybe when I'm old, when bread is no longer sweet to me, where food is not something that interests me, yeah, that I'm not worried about earning money to keep myself alive, and red wine doesn't warm my blood, doesn't make me full of life, and I'm no longer full of activity. So she smiles to think that perhaps when she's old, in some day far from now, she will be happy to remember how the agile poppies, the fleet lithe poppies, ran like torchmen with the wheat. So, and she will be glad to remember this beautiful scene in Ancona with the poppies and the wheat field and the whole scene. And here she's saying that this is something that will live with her forever because it was just such a beautiful scene. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Poppies on the Wheat by Helen Hunt Jackson.